Hey, what up, everybody? Welcome back to the second part of Beyond the Laughter. We were just talking about what is the biggest controversy from the Olympics. Erin gave her take on the last episode, but she wanted to ask something about a particular guy because she's a pervert. So we're gonna let her add what she want to add real quick about what was the fourth biggest controversy. Go ahead, Erin. Do your thing.
Elaborate,
Man.
Erin.
Go ahead, yeah. You try to do it off camera. Nope, you're going to do it on camera. You gonna do it.
Biggest is the key word in this situation.
For only one person here.
Yeah, I want to make it very clear. I'm the one who brought this up. Something else I can't forget. I don't even know if it's a controversy. It's a moment of pride for a lot of people. The pole vaulter who lost because his penis was too large. And again, you lost the Olympics, but like you won everything else. Like I hope he's not too sad.
Oh, he's doing some pole vaulting.
He's doing
He
good.
doesn't need the.
He's pole vaulting for real.
Did he get a new follower? What do you think, man? The fake boxer outrage.
Oh man, I love the
Reagan.
boxer outrage. I love the boxer outrage because in the middle of it, when people were taking up their side, I said everybody wants to talk about male boxers versus female boxers, and I think everybody's stupid because female boxers don't exist. They're called panties, all right? And there were so many people that wanted to be mad at
so
me.
mad.
I just got it.
That's great.
There were so many
so
people
mad.
that wanted to be mad at me on my TikTok when I posted that. I got flooded with DMs and people were like, I was ready to light your ass up and I was going to do this, but I couldn't. And I was like,
That was me right now.
that's how it goes.
I literally
That's how
did
it
not
goes.
get that. All I said was what? I'm so slow.
First, I'm like, part two's getting real.
Yeah.
And then I
So
got it.
that's-
Like,
that's-
that is
When you
great.
said that, I was sweating like, yo.
But see, that's what I love
Last
to do.
episode.
I love to toe the line with it, man. That's what comedy's
funny.
about, and so I like to try and find that line. But all with the controversy, man, I think I'm with Erin. I think this Ray Gun deal is absurd to me for all the reasons she stated. Because it wasn't just that she was connected, but she also, or they also, raised the admission price or the get-in price or whatever you want to call it to a point where pretty much nobody else but this connected wench could afford that and go off and do this. And it's like, man, you did everybody in your nation dirty. You did the sport, you did the tradition of it, whatever you want to call it. You did breakdances so dirty. And that goes to show why, these clicks and connections ain't always it, man. And so that was probably the dirtiest part of it for me.
What you think, Jamie? What you got?
The box, that was great. I just want to give a tip of the cap to that. I thought we were getting real for a second. That was awesome. And that was just one of those things where in today's age, we jump to conclusions immediately, right? And everybody has a take, even though we don't know all the facts. Man, Raygun, why we're still talking about it, right? Like we're still talking about breakdancing. We're still talking about breakdancing at the Olympics. And it's usually about the gymnasts. It's about the track and field. We haven't even brought up that LeBron James, got the gold, and he's one of the biggest stars in our world, But yeah, Raygun, kudos to her for cheating the system and causing an international outrage in a sport that no one probably would have been talking about otherwise.
Right.
And she has a brand now that she can move forward with, for positive or negative. She can in this world because we're all social. We all see the different clips and whatnot. She should take advantage of it.
Hot to a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the side of, hey, girl, you just built something. Like, go for it. But
Man, okay.
What about
pole
you?
vaulter, though, I mean, my man.
Yeah, that was on my mind.
My man.
The pole vaulter was definitely on my
I love
mind.
shirts.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, that pole vaulter.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Let me follow him on Instagram.
Right.
Let me see the other pole. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, we did.
fans.
We did.
only poles. You know what I mean?
It could be a website.
No, the only poles can definitely be. It probably is. I looked it up. Oh, just like, oh. I think I'm gonna go with Amani Khalif. I want to say that's how you say her name, because it was so fake outrage. It wasn't really controversy actually. No, because we can't really say that was controversy just because I guess behind it was the controversy. You know what I mean? And
Feels like
people-
manufactured outrage.
Yeah, it was pretty lame, man. I thought that was pretty bad. People couldn't do a Google search, couldn't do.
Well, I
You
think
know what
it's
I mean?
because people are always going to jump at the trans people in sports, like where they stand on that. So some people were so excited to see possibly like their biases confirmed that they didn't even bother researching. So I think that's where it stems from. It stems from an actual debate that people just jumped headlong into because they didn't care to like do any research. I think that's why people got so bothered about it.
It's like everybody had their comments cocked and loaded for that. Like, ooh, I can't wait to get this point out
think
to
it was
show you how
cocked for the
smart
poll.
I am.
It wasn't cocked. I don't think it was cocked for the.
I mean, it was
was
definitely
real.
cocked, but
They were saving
many different
those.
ways.
They were saving those though. You know that like they were ready for something, like they were waiting for something like that to happen.
Yeah, and it's just foolishness with stuff like that nowadays.
Speaking of foolish, man, there was a guy and his wife who charged $450 to go to his wedding and nobody showed up. Jeremy, would you ever charge anybody to go to your wedding?
Would I charge it? I think it depends on if I got a special guest. If I had a real special, and I'm not talking about me as the groom. If we had a performer, somebody that, hey, come see us get married, but also, here's Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler be
He
at a
would.
wedding? Like, why
You know he would.
Can you imagine?
Social media
He's the
outreach.
wedding singer, first of all.
Yeah. Shaq
Bobby Hart,
would.
baby, let's go.
Shaq. Get Shaq. He does side quests all the time.
Yes.
Some of people
I
like
would.
the attention would be off of you if you had Shaq or Adam Sandler at your wedding. Like they'd be like, look at this picture of Shaq at your wedding. Like
Shaq
They would
Photo
never
bombs
forget my
everything.
wedding.
Yeah.
Correct.
Like,
forget
yo,
And then if you
That's
get
okay.
got
divorced,
married and Shaq was there. You would never forget
if you
that.
get divorced, nobody's gonna like talk badly about you because they're like, who cares? Shaq was at the wedding.
Yeah.
Like,
How many times you go to a wedding and you're excited and you love the day and it's awesome, it's a lot of fun, you forget about it the next day.
Yeah.
You move on with your life.
Yep.
If you're the guest.
Nah.
Not if Adam Sandler's there. What a show that was.
Yeah.
He was like, doo-doo-doo-doo. I mean, he was great. So $450, yeah, I would probably charge tickets if I had a special guest. But if it's just my wedding, I mean, the ego.
Yes.
I mean, that's something.
yes.
You want me to pay a car note to go see your prenuptials?
Right.
Hell no.
I'm on a disconnection notice at OPPD.
That's
Real,
right.
man.
You pay $450 for your wedding?
OPP don't give a damn. I'm trying to go. I ain't seen you in 12 years.
I'd rather go steal some chicken wings.
That's how I'm gonna afford this, man.
I steal chicken wings.
That's why you had too many weddings to go
Yeah.
to.
Had way too many weddings on a teacher school admin salary.
I'm gonna make it.
On that school admin
That's
salary.
why
I gotta sell my 50 more chicken wings if I'm gonna go to this wedding.
Back in the back.
Freer.
Flats. All I got is flats. That's all I got. That's all I got.
But at least your gift, you just, you have a card and inside the card's a picture of you and be like, man, I spent it all on me. Like, here I am.
Oh man, well I guess I see everybody's answer. It's just you're
I
bringing.
gotta know. I want to know what he was thinking.
Yeah.
Like what was involved in that wedding to where he thought he was gonna do? Because like when I did my wedding, I kind of did a white trash wedding. I'm white trash. It was fitting. I said I was gonna provide a whole bunch of liquor, a whole bunch of smoked meats and stuff. Bring some sides and yourselves. That's it. We're gonna camp out here on the lake. I rented out some campers, and then we can throw some tents up. But it was like, hey, even then we were kind of like, you think people will buy into this? And they're like, oh hell yeah, it was cool.
How many people? How many people?
I think it was like 50-ish.
Man, that's
So it
awesome.
was super dope, right?
That's not white trash.
No, well,
that's actually pretty
Yeah, man.
romantic. I can't believe I
You
said
can't
that
take
word.
it away from me, man. We was in a trailer, all right? So that was
okay.
our first night was in a trailer. It's beautiful. So, but like,
Trailer babies.
but like even then, I kind of felt bad, like being like, ooh, this side thing. I can't imagine dropping a $450 note to be like, yeah, come see me on my special day
Right.
and pay me. Like, there's no damn way.
Right. Like, and I didn't look into this. Were they also like expecting gifts from people as
Right,
well?
that's another key question.
Because it's like,
Because if that included the gift, and you're like, hey, I ain't gonna
Insane.
ask you for the rest
Yeah,
of my
yeah,
life.
yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. I'll pay you $450 to never talk to me again
Right.
about needing some stuff.
to me, it's
Celebrate
like the
your
same
day.
thing as like destination weddings. Like when someone's getting married and they expect you to go to like, I don't know, Mexico or like somewhere really far
Yeah.
on your own dime. It's like, that's expecting way too much for me to like, I mean, you're a guest. So like, it's technically an honor that you show up to begin with. And so the fact that you're paying, there's so many other things you could do with $450. I think the audacity of that, I think that was Ray Gunn's wedding. I think that's
That's right up
Covered
her
the
alley.
admission price.
yes. That's how she got the.
She can make it now though. She popular. She probably can make that.
Yeah. It's an insane thing to do.
That is wild, man. Oh, to the comedy standpoint, is there anything off limits you can't speak about in comedy, Terrance?
No. Hell no.
Nothing.
Now, there's a way that you're supposed to go about it. Whether I like that or not, whether any comic likes it or not, there's a way that you have to go about it. Because at the end of the day, you still have to toe that line without crossing it. And as somebody that likes to sprint up to the line and then dead stop to make you think I'm about to cross it like crazy, I love doing that. But you can't cross that line. Now, it happens accidentally, right? We make those mistakes. We're like, damn, I thought that was funny. It sounded funnier in my head. It was better when I wrote it down. In front of my friends, it would hit better. But my friends also know me, right? Like, they understand my history. They understand how I act, walk, talk, all of that. Whereas when you're in a crowd, you don't get that luxury. They've got 3 to 5 minutes to get to know you. And that's sometimes like, old one-night stands or comedy. Like, that's your only time to make an impression. And if you don't do it right, you're going to mess the whole thing up. The whole thing.
Both last 3 to 5 minutes.
Exactly. Max.
I don't know what y'all be doing, but
I'm doing it the right way, all right? I'm doing it respectfully, in a timely manner.
Get in, get out.
But, I mean, no, everything can and should be talked about. Because here's the thing, man. Like, gallows humor exists for a reason, right? Like, not to go into some of my military stuff, but, like, I've seen a few things that, like, I wish I wouldn't have, right? Like, nothing crazy that there's so many other people out there that have seen and had to do way worse and all that. But, like, sometimes the only thing that gets you by is that most absurd thing that somebody just busts the tension in the air and you're like, wow, that was messed up, but we're here now and we're kind of giggling. Now we're all back to some semblance of normalcy.
Yeah. What you think, Aaron?
I agree. For me, I think it also depends on the person making the joke. So, like, I think it's all about optics, right? Like, I have jokes, like, particularly about my mental health. Now, if somebody were to come up to me after a set and be like, hey, that's not funny, my thing always in my back pocket is, well, I'm not saying it as a whole is funny. I'm saying my personal experience with it is funny. So I think that's something to take into account. There's also, I feel so bad for not remembering the name of the book. It's a book. It's by a guy named Viktor Frankl. Old book.
Man's Purpose for the Man's Search for Meaning.
Yes, Man's Search for Meaning. Thank you. Yes, he was in a concentration camp during the Holocaust, survived, got out. But, like, about half of that book is about how humor is so important and how, like, he and other prisoners in there would make stupid jokes to each other just to, like, get by. So I think, like, dark humor, again, it all depends on who's saying it. Obviously, I wouldn't want somebody who, like, wasn't in the Holocaust to make jokes about, like, being in the Holocaust. But I think there's something to be said, like he says in that book, like, humor is life-saving. And so when you take something, personally, anything dark that happens to me, I like to make a joke out of it because that's what helps me process it. So if an audience doesn't always enjoy that, so be it. But, like, for those who get it, those who relate to it, I think they appreciate it because it's like, oh, you're kind of taking the stigma away from certain things by joking about it, opening up a conversation. So yeah, I think nothing's really off limits. It just depends on who's saying it.
So you think she, like the wing lady in prison, like, damn, they really gave you 9 years? Damn.
You should have just got some Red Bull. That too would give you wings.
8 pounds of weed.
Yes. Yeah.
What did you get?
For real, man.
Like Erin was saying, sometimes it helps to have some jokes or some humor about what you're dealing with, and it helps you, get through that. I have Crohn's disease. If I soil myself on the drive to the show, I'm going to talk about it, like 100%, even though there might be somebody who's had that happen and it was so embarrassing, I just triggered them. But there's like an agreement, between the audience and the talent that, hey, you're going to see a show. It might bother you, it might not. Hopefully we make you laugh tonight.
Yeah.
And I totally feel like you should be able to say, as the talent, whatever you feel is going to entertain that audience tonight. And sometimes that doesn't happen, but the audience also has the agreement of, hey, I came here to be entertained, and sometimes I may not. So
Yeah.
And when it hits, it hits.
Right.
It's such a good feeling when one of those jokes hits because it's like, oh, you all get it.
Yep.
Like, I can talk to you all after this. This feels more like a two-way street.
Yeah, but that's what I said, like that 90-10, like 90% 10, like if 90% of the people are silent for that Crohn's disease joke, but that 10% is just cracking up, I live for that 10% because
100%.
those people are going to ride or die with me no matter where I go because they get it.
You got them. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, I always got to answer, dude. I always forget.
So what do you think, Lavetti?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
We got to interview you too.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Lavetti.
Stay on your show on Wednesday.
I think it's a line. I don't know, man. That's tough, man. Cause I had a. Oh, I shouldn't have made that on camera. I had a joke that was pretty severe and it was pretty serious.
Let's hear it.
This may not be the venue.
I mean, it's fine.
Come to the back.
How much time we got? I mean, I can say the joke. I mean, I don't know if it's the right audience. But it was pretty serious.
Yeah.
You know, I got booked off that one clip though, like 6 times off that one clip.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's because they thought all my comedy was like that edgy and that dark. And it's funny because a dude got actually like a couple months ago. My joke wasn't like that joke, but it was the same topic.
Yeah.
And he done got booked, but he done got a lot of controversy and had people, you know, walk out. And I'm like, damn, man, like. I just feel like if people understand the joke and understand what's going on with it and actually listen instead of just listening to that part of a joke, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, well, that was actually intelligent and funny. He wasn't actually talking about the man. He was talking about, you know, what if this happened? You know what I mean? So it's just, I think I hate to say it like that, especially somebody who did that. It just had me think like, damn, man, maybe I shouldn't say this, you know what I mean? Like me calling women a B word, you know what I mean? I mean, if there's 20, 30 women out of an audience of 40, you know, I probably should shut up, you know what I mean? But it just depends, man.
But there's other venues where you can do that and it will soar.
I think it's playing to your crowd.
It really is, man. I don't know. I mean, personally, I throw it out. I had a George Floyd joke, and it blew up because everybody. Bookers liked it. They was like, damn, this was funny. You know, at least, you know, they thought.
Yeah.
But it was people in my comments like, I can't believe you said that. You know what I mean? Like, what would your mama think? And it was getting to where, like, I was like, man, this is pretty. And this was like when I very first started comedy. Like, I had just started, man. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, this is my first year teetering the line. And that was one of the jokes I was like, man, I sort of regret ever writing, to be honest with you. If I'm gonna be honest with myself, but it's just because but I just felt like people didn't listen. Believe it or not, I still think it's funny, regardless. I know I'm probably gonna get killed for that.
But that's the thing, like the people in the comments weren't the audience that we had the agreement with at the show.
Yeah, you know
So-
what I mean?
It came after the
Also-
fact.
Right.
I would not make a joke about George Floyd for obvious reasons.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, again, it goes back to what I was saying about it depends on who's making the joke. So you as a black man making a George Floyd joke, I as a white woman would never roll up in your comments and be like, you can't say that.
Yeah, I mean, they
Because-
wrote up in my inbox.
Like, I feel like a societal agreement should be like, if you're not a part of this group, you don't get to police what they can and can't say. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not your audience for that. There's trauma involved. It's how you process it.
It was tough. I thought it was a pretty clever joke. I wasn't making fun of George Floyd by any means, but it was.
Well, you gotta like, especially as somebody that does run up to that line, I have to watch it too because some of the punchlines I have or some of the jokes on the lines that I ride, I got to make sure that I'm keeping it comedy and it doesn't turn into a rally. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's that fine line to where it's like, okay, y'all are kind of like Dave Chappelle said, y'all are laughing a little bit more at me rather than with me, and I can tell the difference. I've been doing this long enough, and I don't like that at all. And so that's where that delivery portion comes in.
The problem is that a key component of comedy, like arguably the most important part, is subverting expectations or like the surprise factor. So like when I'm writing a joke, I write a punchline and I'm like, oh, that's very surprising, but again, too much. So I think it's also like about listening to an audience reaction. If I were doing some of my jokes, you know, my more controversial ones, and they were never landing, I'd back off. Like, it's obviously not going to hit. But like, I think the whole aspect of surprise is what keeps people trying to do kind of controversial stuff. Because sometimes it does get a little, like, I'll be honest, in my TikTok comments personally, I love firing back at people. Like, that's one of my favorite hobbies because you get an adrenaline rush from it. But it's important, especially in a show, important to realize, like, why am I here? Like, I'm not here to argue with an audience member. I'm not here to tell them what is and what isn't funny. I'm here to, like, make a joke. But yeah, as comedians, you're vulnerable, but you also have a lot of confidence up there. So it's hard to realize, like, oh, I need to step back.
But like the comedy show is like the public space, like you were saying.
Right.
This is where we've agreed to come
Yes.
gather and do this thing.
Yep, this is what it's gonna be.
Instagram, whatever.
Different
That's
game.
more of your personal corner. Now,
Right.
however you got here, you found my room, and you're not gonna come to my room and tell me how I'm gonna decorate it. Like that's just not how this is gonna be. So
You
it's
could argue
different.
the same thing for social media though, because anyone can see it, but when they come onto your page, like personally, my thing, you come onto my video, you make a comment, I have the right to go back at you because you
100%.
came into this area.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think there is
Exactly
that
what I'm
agreement
saying.
also on social media as well. But yeah, especially in a room,
Oh, yeah.
you paid to be here, you know the rules, like engage however you feel fit. But yeah, like,
And it's okay if they leave.
exactly.
And it's okay if they keep scrolling.
Yep, exactly. Yep, whatever you
But
need
you
to
ain't
do.
got to slam my door and cuss me out 14 times before you do that. Like, just see yourself out,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be cool. Otherwise, I'm gonna tell you, you got to replace the door.
Yeah.
I would be willing to have a conversation though
Yeah,
with an
for
audience
sure.
member.
Yeah,
If,
yeah.
Oh,
if
sure.
you're having a
Absolutely.
If you had to, yeah.
Yeah, a decent conversation, you know, like not a one-sided
yeah.
argument. Yeah.
100%.
You keep bringing up the B word. I call women the best all the time.
I call my
Nobody's
wife a
gotten
B-word
upset
all
with
the
me.
time.
I've never
Beautiful.
been threatened.
Listen,
Like-
that is exactly why I'm single right now.
All right, all right. I've been sitting
the
here.
night.
I can't even
That-
focus.
for the
night.
I'm like, what
That's
are you doing
exactly
wrong
why
about
I'm
Everyone
single.
I know loves that.
Yeah.
word.
that? Right,
Wrong B word. But go
right.
ahead. That's a 4-letter word, not a 5-letter word. Yours rhymes with West. Mine rhymes
Oh,
with
gotcha.
ish.
All right, so I was
It's a
wrong.
little different. It's a little different.
Yep.
Man. Y'all think you think clicks in comedy they help or they hurt the comedy scene?
I think it depends on how they use their buying power. Like, you can use it to create something special and create more for everybody if you can build on that. Like, if you've got a comedy group, you know, that maybe is catching steam, or some folks within it are catching steam, you can create more opportunities for everybody.
100%.
Or you could alienate. It just depends on what you do with your buying power, but it could be special. You know, it's silly that I'm going back to Adam Sandler, but look what he's done with his crew,
100%.
right? Look what he's done with his crew,
yeah.
and he's not made it like a big thing, like, you know, all my Happy Madison people are mine and blah blah blah. He takes them all on the road, and they all create amazing things and make a ton of money doing it. I think it could be awesome if it's done right.
Yeah.
What you think? You don't want to
I agree completely. I think like human nature is to form cliques with each other and find people you connect with, especially in comedy, because you're finding people who have the same style of comedy as you. They respect the same kind of things. So yeah, I think, like you said, the Adam Sandler thing, or like the SNL groups
Right.
who stick together, you see great stuff coming out of that. So like, I think, yeah, cliques for the most part can be great. You've got this, especially in like, you know, high profile stuff. You've got a group of comics people rely on, people go to, they're going to make money. They're going to have people coming to them all the time. Yeah, overall, and I mean, I think on a more personal, like local level, again, it's going to happen. I don't think you should take it personally.
Right.
Because yeah, there are a few different cliques, but to me, as long as you can, you know, work with each other, then I don't see any issue
Just
with
think
it
of
at
the
all.
creativity that you gain from
Exactly,
working together
exactly.
with other funny people
And
or creative
especially
people.
who aren't seeing opportunities for themselves, making those opportunities with other people. I think that's amazing. But yeah, I think it's important, like you said, to reach out to each other, have like the overall community and then little subsets of it. I think that's the ideal situation.
I think y'all make great points. I agree. I think iron sharpens iron and all that. Having said that, damn these comedy cliques. All right, because far too often these comedy cliques band together and rise in mediocrity and don't go no damn where. Or they rise to the top and just try to eat everybody else underneath them, and it drives me nuts. In an ideal world, yeah, I think comedy cliques would be good. I think even starting out, like when you first start out, I've been a part of a few of them and throughout the years and all that, but it's one of those things that it tends to fizzle out if you're not all collaborating or trying to be on the same page. And when you start adding more people, it's impossible to keep everybody on the same page. The only way it works is if you Wu-Tang that joint, to where y'all are like, yeah, we're operating under this umbrella, but we're all are each individual, and we're gonna bring that to this thing. And when we collaborate, that's when we collaborate, but we're still separate, period, point blank.
Wu-Tang. I was gonna say NWO because of the shirt over there. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was gonna say NWO.
You were gonna say NSYNC.
Can't
all be Timberlake, yeah.
Nah, cliques. Cliques can be cool, man. They can. It just depends on the purpose of the clique, I guess, and. Some cliques don't last forever, as we know. You know what I mean? We've been there. You know what I'm saying? And it really just depends, man. If you're doing a show and it's the same people every time you see the show, it's like, damn, man, you gonna put somebody else on? You know what I mean? Like, there's other funny people out here. You know what I mean? But sometimes it'll help, like the Adam Sandler type thing. You said, man, people rise to the top. You know what I mean? Helping, and they might not all have big parts. But it's some people you see for like 2 minutes in the movie. You be like, oh, he's from Wedding Singer, and
Absolutely.
this, that. And, oh, he's from Click, and oh, he's from, you know what I mean, and everything like that. So it just depends on what level it is, man. I don't really mind cliques too much. It just depends, I guess, what's the purpose. And are you a clique like when we get together, but we still do our own thing, you know what I mean? You still Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash, or are you a clique and I'm in sync and you know what I mean?
Right.
Or you Justin Timberlake and I'm in sync. You know what I'm saying? I'm Kobe and you the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I know.
Like, okay, I don't know why I'm talking to you, but
Yeah, why are you talking?
I have no idea.
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Man,
we run out on time, Terrance. Man.
We're running down on the wind down. So, Erin, I want you to look at your camera, tell everybody where they can find you on your socials, tell them what you got coming up, advertise yourself.
Yeah, I am on Instagram at Erin, E-R-I-N, my last name, CLOUGH1130. My TikTok username is a little bit more creative. It is all one word, Erin hates Stuart Little. And then upcoming stuff.
The mouse, right?
Got, the mouse. I hate him. I got a whole thing about it. Upcoming stuff. On August 31st at the Backline, doing a show. It's coming back. I've never done it before. I believe it's called Downtown Comedy, something of that sort. That's coming up. And yeah, I
Let's
think
do it. Jeremy, man.
We got 20 seconds.
Oh, sorry.
Laugh With Me podcast, season 4, September 4th. Thank you for having me. But you can find us on all our socials.
Rising on top of the
big
podcast list.
For the redhead people, thank you for having us.
We appreciate everybody, man. Appreciate Erin. Appreciate Jeremy. Appreciate Terrance. Appreciate y'all, man. You have a great night. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very
Hell
much.
yeah.